first activity, a mid-morning canoe race, which, unknown to either team, we've rigged so the A's win. Now their victory is in dispute.
Because if you think about it, no matter who came out of the place first, and they turned around and said, right, you're going with Dave, or you're going with Tom, Dick and Harry, and you're going down there, and we came round here. It doesn't matter where you are, it's the fact that it's up here.
No,
if you want to win, you've got to win. Yeah, but if you came out of the door and you was told to go down, just down the bank.
It's got nothing to do with that. If we'd all gone up set off at the same time, you were you were already on the water and we didn't even get on the side.
There's no point in debating why you lost. You lost. Sorry, guys, but you lost.
Look at Richard. Yesterday he was an outsider, but simply by giving him a red jacket, he suddenly has a group to belong to. Now people are listening to him.
Story. I mean, you had longer, you had a little bit more practice. I wasn't going to get any better.
I'm not George has already admitted that he wasn't prepared to win. He's already said he was the weak link.
At the end
so
of
he's
the day,
negatively thinking.
Can I just say that? Because we're all mates. At the end of the day,
people, congratulations.
Okay.
Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. Okay.
They've been in two teams for 3 hours, and already the harmony and high spirits of yesterday's bonding are evaporating. But things are about to get worse. Sharon thinks Julia's been ignoring her.
Julia, you seem that you've got the right fucking arsehole.
There was definitely a lot of tension between Julia and Sharon. I thought there could be even a punch-up at one point.
Fucking ignorant. That's what I was about to say. Which is like 1 minute. Fucking ignorant.
Julia has sat down at the red table, and I think maybe some of the hostility toward her was that she didn't know her place. She made a big tactical mistake.
I said to you, Julie, you seem really fucked up and pissed off. Right, and there's some fucking silence. Why did you help that? Yeah, bollocks.
Even her own team members are just walking around her and not giving her any support at all.
The entire group was pretty tight with each other and everyone got along pretty well. And the fact that, we broke up and suddenly, like, a few hours later, we're kind of, like, at each other's throat almost. I was surprised by that. Yeah. And suddenly that was, like, us against them.
Well, I certainly ain't going to stand there and take shit from a person that's...
So channel it then, channel it. If someone doesn't react in the way that she likes, she gets the hump and starts effing and blinding.
You always get one bad apple. As soon as you get one bad apple, it rots the whole cart.
And if you're going to start swearing and banging furniture and go for the hump, it's not a problem.
Julia's decision to sit at the wrong table means she's now been cold-shouldered by her own teammates. Behaving differently from your group can make you an outcast. But what would you do if you knew your group was entirely wrong? Would you, for example, sit in a burning room just because everyone else does? This hotel conference suite has been prepared for a focus group discussion on internet shopping. But all is not as it seems. We've been busy. The place is rigged with 4 hidden cameras and 6 concealed microphones. And psychology professor Dominic Abrams is watching from our control room, which we've built in an adjoining suite.
Now it's just a question of sitting and waiting.
Right, so this is a questionnaire all about kind of shopping habits and everything here. So just move that off your chair so you can...
Our first participant is Mary Mizuno, a London student who thinks she's arrived early. What she doesn't know is that behind this door there's about to be a serious fire in the hotel kitchen. Or at least the illusion of one, created by a smoke machine and some sound effects. What will she do?
She's now noticed the smoke and is concerned. At this point, she decides to investigate to find out what's going on. She's immediately taken responsibility for figuring out what to do.
Mary does the sensible thing and evacuates quickly. She even leaves her bag and coat.
As I've never been in a fire situation before, I try to remember the kind of things that you're supposed to do, so I left my stuff and just went out.
But Mary was on her own. This time, we've planted 7 actors who are all in on the experiment. We've said to them, when you see the smoke, do nothing. Our second participant is Lauren Heffernan, also a student. What will she do?
In this situation, she'll be following a script. The script is partly written in her mind. It's a script which is borrowed from things like sitting exams. Most situations like this have some element of expected or scripted behaviour.
But what will happen to her script when we make a slightly unusual situation very unusual? Nothing to start with, so we get her attention. Now, how long before she dashes out of the room?
She's checking increasingly to see what the other people are thinking. But who can she appeal to? The answer is nobody. She turns to the norm of the group. Ignore the smoke. In a real fire, the people in this group would be in very serious danger by now.
I was looking for some sort of reaction from someone else, even just the slightest little thing, that they'd recognise that there was something, you know, going on here. For me to kind of react on that and then do something about it, I kind of needed prodding.
She's waiting for someone else to react. Why isn't anyone else reacting? She feels uncomfortable. She doesn't want to embarrass herself by taking the lead, taking action. But something is definitely wrong.
Lauren stayed in the room for 20 minutes after spotting the smoke, concerned but immobile. The fire brigade say that if this fire had been real, even if flames hadn't burnt through the door, she would have died of asphyxiation in this time. In the end, we had to ask her to leave.
What about here? I was surprised that I didn't do anything at all. I was just literally waiting. I just thought that someone else is surely going to say something soon. And because no one else did, I just didn't react at all.
We tried the experiment 10 times, and the same thing happened over and over again. If the person was on their own, they left quickly. If they were in a group of 3 or more, they stayed, rooted to the spot. The average length of time they stayed, 13 minutes. In real fires, people die because of behaviour like this. In 1979, a blaze at Woolworths in Manchester killed 10 people.
The fire occurred during the day, when the store was occupied by hundreds of people. Most of those people managed to get out quite safely. The people that died in the fire were actually using the restaurant at the time.
But why so many fatalities in the restaurant? Investigators eventually realised that people simply hadn't evacuated. They'd waited to pay their bills. That was their routine.
We go into a restaurant. We sit down, the waiter comes over, we choose a meal, we eat the meal, we pay for the meal, and then we leave the building. That's our script, if you like, for eating a meal.
Worse still, everyone was following the same script, and no one wanted to be the only one to stray.
One of the main reasons why people died in the Woolworths fire is because they didn't want to be the first to react. They didn't want to stand out for the crowd and went along with the crowd behaviour.
Only one person in our experiment didn't go along with the crowd behaviour, artist James McKechnie.
What's that coming up from under the table? Is it fire?
I don't know.
Is it fire?
We should just wait till she comes back. Yeah.
Yeah.
She said just to wait here, didn't she?
What? What's that?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. She said just to wait here, didn't she?
What? Is that?
She's coming right down now.
James isn't going to sit in a dangerous room just because everyone else does.
Yeah.
Or is he? The power of the group proves irresistible.
The reassurance